Before we start today, let me just center myself. Before we start today, I wanted to say that I washed my hair this morning, and my hair is super light and super fluffy and super fua. So I'm in a good mood. Let's talk about shame. I think that the internet has caused us to have an overdeveloped idea or a overdeveloped sensation of shame. And it's really, really sad. It's sad that we ostracize people who are willing to step out. There was this viral Twitter video or TikTok, I can't even remember where it's from, wherein a professor offers everyone in the class the opportunity to either do a 5-page essay on one of 4 very complex topics which are related to the class, or come to the front and do a little 15-second interpretive dance to get the exact same weight in their grade. A 5-page essay versus 15 seconds of embarrassment. And you know what happened? The majority of people chose the essay. How do you choose that? What happened to the... to the mentality that has been pushed out by Gen Z, Gen A, late millennials, that we're going to grab this bag no matter what. So no matter what ends at doing a little funny dance, a little chicken, a little Squidward tentacles dance in front of the class? Goodness. But it speaks to a trend, right? We have an overdeveloped idea nowadays of dignity and of shame. Cringe culture, right? This idea that people are embarrassing. They're embarrassing themselves for often acting either neurodivergent or otherwise non-within like the tight band that is socially acceptable. I feel like, maybe it's because there are so many more sensitive people on the internet, but I feel like we've become overly sensitive to making a fool of ourselves. I think it's really fascinating to see the direction we've gone into. I mean, for as long as humans have existed, we've always wanted social harmony. We've always shunted off the unalike and the queer to the corners. But in this particular case, I think that, are we more critical of each other and of ourselves than we were before? Are we, as a breed, more scared to be silly and do fun things nowadays? I have this very radical attitude, I think, that everybody, all of you watching right now, should get into content creation. At least a little bit. And if you try it for a month, a year, and end up not liking it, you can toss it away. There's no great loss for me or for the internet if you try something out and end up disliking it at the end. But what I think in its inverse, in the opposite, that not trying, that growing old with regrets is bad. Is a sin. It is a kind of self-harm. I'm not sure if I posted this video up, but I talked about regret. And if you know that you're going to leave a store regretting not having gotten that thing, you should have just gotten in the first place. If it's within your means, of course. But it's the same thing with life. If it was entirely within your means to grab something and the cost to you is very minimal, then grab it. And the cost nowadays, I think the most visceral cost for most young people nowadays is perception, is this very developed idea of the self and a social media self. And I guess you could also build a reputation as a clown, but I think most people want to be taken like seriously. But I would take you more seriously if you were a silly little guy every now and then. You know, I think more people have started taking me seriously when I loosened up a little bit on stream. I've always thought of that as an asset. I've always thought of it as an asset of myself to make a fool of myself briefly, if it means to push a joke or a bit, and all the most entertaining, funny, interesting people, the people you want to be friends with, are the people who do that. And you could be that. It's as simple as making a choice. Now, why do we have such an overdeveloped reaction to shame? I mean, we fear being alone. We fear not having our peers backing us up or making the bit that goes too far and eventually people sort of side-eye us, ostracize us. But I also recently saw this video about if you really love yourself, then you could never be lonely with the company of yourself. And I thought it was very, very poignant. Our over-reliance on our peers and what they think and the shame that we feel when we disappoint them comes from a deep, great need to be seen by those people as cool, as worth keeping around. But you're cool in of itself. You're worthy of love in of itself, right? And eventually you'll find the people who love you for you, if you haven't already. I don't know. I feel like those people who are like brooding, I don't think they make fun confidants. I don't think the people who are often chillin' and focused on this aura of above it all would be fun to interact with. Nobody wants to be alone, but you know what is another thing that's simultaneously true? A lot of people are incomplete. And they find themselves drawn to the image of completeness. And sure, you can build up this image of completeness by being sort of good looking and a straight shooting and serious and mysterious and dressing in like the best clothes, but that's what it is. It's an image, right? Or if those people are happy the way they are, then who am I to judge? But there are some people who do that to replace this fear of being alone, right? Or to present completeness. However, you know what's even more visceral and real and tangible than that? Genuine self-sufficiency, genuine completeness and enjoyment of oneself. I will never... If someone truly enjoys themselves and how they are, I think I'll try my best never to judge them. Because, well, ultimately, why would that matter? Why would my shaming them matter in that case? Because they're already so realized as a person and are all right with what they are and don't care about what other people think of them. That they're willing to be cringe online. Right? To be cringe online and to be free is somewhat aspirational to me. I wish I lacked the shame in order to be happy online. I hope this made sense. Ding, 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 10 minutes.